guys, so I went to the drugstore today and I wanted to pick up a new foundation because I have been using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer as my foundation lately, or I've just been using like a powder or something, which really doesn't give you a lot of coverage. I don't like the cakey feeling because I kind of have like combination oily skin and my skin is like acne prone, so it does break out quite a bit. It's the Neutrogena Skin Clearing and Oil-Free foundation, which looks like this. And I'm really excited to try it, and I just got it like an hour ago. My skin doesn't have anything on it right now. I actually just washed my face, so I'm just going to go ahead and try this out so that you guys can see what it looks like. So I'm going to be using my Sigma flat top brush. This is what I usually use for putting on foundation. Okay, so I zoomed in so that you guys can see it in detail. As you can see, my face always kind of looks a little bit shiny because it does produce natural oils quite frequently, I suppose. I tend to think I'm more a combination skin, but sometimes I feel like I'm pretty oily, so I don't know. But I just washed my face and this is what it looks like. I do have a few blemishes and acne scars, and then I have a few breakouts like here and there. So let's see how good of a job. Using my hand and just pouring a little bit on there. So it's coming out quite thick actually, which is good for wanting coverage, but normally it's not so good for the feeling of cakiness. So here it is. I'm actually really curious if this is even my color, because when you're at the drugstore you can't like open it and see if it's your color or not. So what I did is I just hold this and I hold it next to my wrist and I see, okay, does it match or not? And I thought it matched. Now it doesn't look like it matched, so let's just see what happens. I'm going to be taking this and dabbing it. Here's my Sigma flat top brush, and I'm just going to start stippling it on. Luckily, I have a feeling that this is my color. It might be a shade too light actually, which is kind of a bummer that we're turning into summer right now, because I normally at this point in time I usually choose a shade darker because I'm probably going to be getting more tan and not lighter. It doesn't feel very lightweight, to be honest. It doesn't feel super cakey, but it's not feeling super lightweight either. So I'm not too sure yet. Maybe I used too much, I don't know. I actually think this color worked out pretty well for the fact that I just kind of was eyeballing it and guessing it. So this is it, and I'm actually kind of impressed because I always like to touch my face afterwards to see if it feels like I can just like scrape. You know when you put too much in, or it's like a really cakey heavy foundation and you feel like you can just like scrape it off. I know it sounds gross, but that's how it feels. It actually feels really matte, and my face feels really dry and nice. I actually like, even though my neck probably looks a little darker right now than my face, it looks a little white. Since I usually do use bronzer and blush on top, that usually doesn't matter. I think the lighter the better if you want to, obviously not like pale ghostly white, but a shade lighter than your natural skin color is usually better if you want to cover blemishes. So I feel like it did cover pretty well. It smoothed out my skin tone really nicely and evenly. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment below and let me know. I'm just going to use this translucent setting powder right here over it to see how it interacts, because sometimes if you use powder on top of foundation it feels too cakey. So let's see how this does. So I'm just going to be using, this is from my Shawnee Cosmetics vegan brush set. So this foundation does have salicylic acid in here, so it does have acne treatment. So if you don't have like acne prone skin, it's probably not for you. But I think they have the same exact one, not skin clearing, so it's not the acne treatment one. But this one's pretty mattifying, and it's not too mattifying where you feel like your skin just where it doesn't blend well, because I have had a foundation before where it was like a matte foundation. I think it was either by Rimmel or Revlon, one of the two, and it was so mattifying that you couldn't even blend it, and it was really streaky. This was pretty blendable. It was like almost borderline, I would have to say. If it was any thicker, I probably wouldn't have been able to blend it as well, but the stippling brush really helps, especially when I first compact the product into my skin and then I blend it out, any harsh lines and stuff. But I'm actually pretty impressed. I hope my brushes aren't lighting on fire because it looks like they are. I'm just going to be using a little bit of the MAC Swoon blush on top just to see how it feels. Just on the apples of my cheeks. And because I do have acne prone and oily skin, I usually tend to, like on a day-to-day basis, if I'm not doing really nice makeup, I usually just tend to wear powder and that's it. But it does bother me that it's not very high in coverage and you can see like unevenness and stuff like that and acne scars. So I feel like I'm actually really impressed. I really like this foundation. I think it looks really natural and my skin still looks sort of dewy-ish, not like super dewy, but it doesn't look super dry either. I will let you know like an update at the end of the month if I still love it as much as I do right now, and I'm gonna keep using it in some tutorials and stuff so you guys can see it. If you have any more questions, let me know, and thanks so much for watching. See you guys soon.